Okay, well, it's now 12:10, so we'll get moving on this. Thank you, everyone, for signing in. It's good to see you. And those without a camera, it's good to hear you. My name is Ben Bork. I'm the Diocesan Personnel and Safe Church Officer, and I've been with the Synod office for almost 12 years now, which is wild. I started when I had a 1-year-old, and now he's a teenager, so it's hard to believe. Um, Today we'll be talking about the upcoming Safe Church updates, bit of a refresh, and we'll start digging into those. I'm just going to switch back and forth here. So, what we'll be talking about today are the updates, like I mentioned. We have a few different categories of updates. The first one being user friendliness and accessibility. The online and group training will get a refresh. We'll be working on updating the website so it's clear and accessible to everyone who kind of like a first stop. That's where they can go to get what they're looking for. And then there were a few content updates, which I'll get into later on. So one of the questions that came in when I sent out a little email notice on this was who is working on these? So as far as the policy work, that was started by David Peer before he retired, and Cheryl has taken up the torch on that, breaking policies out of the overall package and aligning things, just making sure that everything is easy to navigate, and a few little tweaks here and there. The Chancellor has been working on content changes for the misconduct policy and the regulation itself, which I'll get into later. And I've been working on the training, 2 modules in, hoping to finish up by June, and then assisting wherever I can. All these changes are then reviewed and commented on by the HR committee and reviewed and approved by council. And that's the last step. So timeframes, like I mentioned, I'm hoping to have training done in June, but we're hoping that these policy changes will be enacted at the May Diocesan Council meeting, so that we can actually move ahead with all the changes and updates. Okay. So I tend to talk quickly when I go through these presentations, so I might just stop after each slide and ask if there are any questions. I'll go through this first one and then we'll stop and see if anyone has any questions. So the first category of updates is user friendliness, and this is something that now that Safe Church has been put out into the wild for about 10 years, we've learned a lot in that time and received a lot of feedback, working through the processes. Basically, the number one thing would be that people are looking for checklists and templates to quickly access to work through things like the risk assessment. The content is all there. It's a great package, but it can be intimidating when you go through the training and then go to grab the package and just see how many pages are included. That page number alone can be intimidating. So we're looking to separate some of these policies out. So if you're looking for specific facility items or HR items, they're quick and easy to grab, and checklists and worksheets are included with that. So like I mentioned, the risk assessment is key. That's pretty much what we get asked about the most, where the current package might have steps within the package. There's not really a checklist necessarily to go through and see for each event or church program to assess that risk. And like I mentioned, we will be updating the website once these are all enacted to make it simple and easy to grab these separate policies and templates. Does anyone have any questions about the user friendliness aspect?
Take your word for it.
We'll try.
Yeah. Okay. Too many windows open. So training, this is what I've been working on the past well, I don't know, a few months, but um, right now we have online training and then we have a group training video. So the group training video covers the whole package, but the online training only covers the misconduct portion. And that satisfies our insurance requirement, but obviously we're doing this for more than that purpose to just satisfy insurance. Um, so we found that the online platform is good, but it just doesn't have that full breadth of information. So the current goal is to build these modules, of which I've built two, and throw them into the current hosting platform so we can continue to use that and um, roll out the full package online. So online and group training will match. They will be the same training, just delivered a little differently. They'll both have quizzes now, so it can be confirmed that people are understanding what they're learning. Right now, it's just kind of assumed that it's all being absorbed. And we're doing it in-house, so we worked with someone to set up the template and get the video thing rolling, but we'll be able to update it going forward, so we won't have to pay a third party or work with somebody else to make any changes as we go ahead. Is there any questions about the training at this point?
People don't have to do it.
Yes, I do have a question.
Okay.
It's Janet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm also eating lunch, so I'll let you look at my dog in the snow instead of me.
No problem.
Jeez, I should have made the side comment.
Lovely dog.
Lovely dog. So the expansion is to turn everything that would be done in a group setting for Safe Church into an online presence.
Correct.
And currently we don't have dominion over the development of that project. So we're paying somebody to assist.
We paid somebody to assist with the setup of the, like turning it from a PowerPoint into a video to upload it to this platform, but we're taking it from there.
Okay, understood. Okay. And this is not going to be rolled out until early summer? Midsummer, you said?
Yes, hoping for June, but I mean, at this point, it feels realistic. So yeah, we're hoping for that. But just to note that if the changes are minimal to the content, so we won't require everyone to retake training at this point. It'll just be whenever your refresher training comes up.
Okay. And if you have not had any training at all, should one wait for this full package to roll out?
Yes, I would say it'd be worthwhile. Yeah, it is. It's a lot more, again, more user friendly is what we're aiming for. So it flows quite well with the quiz at the end. There's less questions up in the air of how does it work, who needs to monitor, all those kinds of things.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Unless you're leading a VBS in early June, you might. But they're probably late June or summer. So
what is a VBS?
Oh, Vacation Bible School.
Oh, VBS. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And one item I missed too was that we are looking at catered training. So to have specific training for camp staff or Sunday school leaders, they might not need to know the hiring practices of an employee. So certain items might be omitted for certain positions. Okay, I'll move on. So here we come to some of the content changes. Let me bring up my notes. The first change comes to the regulation itself. So this is what grounds the entire safeguarding package canonically into our legislation. So basically it just gives it a place in all of our legislation, and it's not just a best practice or something that we're hoping people will accomplish off to the side. It's actually part of our regulations. So the changes clarify the training requirement and the parish obligation, whereas before it was kind of just set up as training must be offered, but not necessarily. I guess the assumption was that it would be taken, but now it's clear that it must be taken. It outlines the new policy structure. Like I mentioned, we are taking the policies and separating them out so they're not just one big package, but the regulation now will point to those and saying that they follow or whichever order they'll be in when everything's said and done. And this will all come into force when the remainder is complete, which again, we're hoping will be by the May Diocesan Council meeting. So that's the regulation. Any questions on that?
That May meeting is the 30th, so the end of May. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. The next set of content changes is to the misconduct policy. The main change is that there has been more procedural fairness built in, and these words were right from the chancellor, so I wrote them down word for word so I wouldn't mess it up. But the idea was to give both parties greater due process rights, both in the investigation and adjudication stages. And to my brain, essentially, that would mean that the respondent would be considered and should be considered innocent until proven that misconduct had taken place. Whereas before it might be weighed a little heavier on the complainant. We couldn't think of the word. So yes, it just gives more rights to both in each step along the way. And then it also separates the role of the bishop out of the investigation process so he can provide that pastoral care throughout. So he's not involved in the back and forth. He just receives the final decision or verdict from the diocesan misconduct complaints officer. Other changes, these aren't to the misconduct policy, but I had my note here that criminal record check and safe church training, the time frame is moving from every 3 years to every 5 years. And that has actually already been enacted. So that is that. Any questions on those changes?
With respect to the change from 3 to 5 years, do we get a reminder that our need to renew is coming up?
Yes, so that is, we are working on that for the criminal record check. The Safe Church online training has an automated reminder, which will be helpful going forward. But yes, so that is in the works. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I didn't mean to speed run this, but here we are. Do you have any questions about this or anything else Safe Church related that we can bring up in the next little while?
Is this presentation that you put together, can you roll that out to us on email or something?
Yes, for sure. It's being recorded and they're all uploaded. Each Synod comment is uploaded to the website, so I'll put you to that. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Janet, that link is already on that email. The email that we sent out for this, the link is there for the.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it'll take some of the afternoon, of course, to get it up. But,
Yes.
I might also, I don't know if we can unshare and share the on the Safe Church site on the website, the Synod website. I've put up the policies, the new regulation, the new misconduct policy. They're not in effect yet, but they will be enacted as of June 1. So if you want to see the new wording and see what the changes are, they're there, but they're officially not our legislation yet. So, but I think you'll see it might help to kind of understand more what Ben has shared in terms of the modularity and so on. So, yeah, so revised version to be enacted 1 June. Yeah.
Okay.
A quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is due to have their police check renewed, because the last one we have is from 3 years ago, can I extend it for another 2 years?
Yes,
Okay, so that's effective immediately.
correct.
Okay, great, great.
Dave Daly here. A question for you. My training to date has been working with the module as it came out from Ben last, what was it, close to a year ago now, I guess. And I did a presentation that for the band in charge to everybody that was involved. Now, like I said, that has been the extent of my training because I'm very new to the position. Is there anything I should be catching up with now, or should I be just waiting now to carry on with the updated program?
Yes, I would say at this point we will be rolling out a lot more communication as things fall into place. Right now, they're being worked on, so it's hard to send those out. But once everything is passed, we'll
Yep.
continue. Yeah, we'll continue communicating that out, and the new training, of course, will be available. So if you'd like to take the new training when it is available, that's great. It's not a necessity, but certainly
Okay.
worthwhile to explore the Safe Church website and pick out anything that you're looking for or ask questions at any point.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we'll recommend that parish Safe Church officers review the training so that, you'll be able to speak to it. So I know a number of you are in that role. So then you can roll out to or be able to speak to it, I guess, better too, for new people, or people that need to retrain.
I have a question, Ben.
Yes.
It's Julian here.
Hi, Julian.
Is it possible to send out like an official document from the Synod office directed to either the vestry or wardens emphasizing the importance of Safe Church? Because I find in my context here, some folk, especially those who have been long-standing members of the church, don't see the need of this, and they just assume it's something, just giving them a little bit of extra work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to reinforce that and put it up on the Synod website, or well, you have that, but probably on the Facebook page and other places where people would have knowledge of that. And the second thing to consider, probably a deanery-wide training where on a particular day, churches within the deanery would come together and sit under the training and, go through this as necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. To both of those, it can be sent out as a reminder, and deanery training is good. I've had that suggestion before too, so I agree that would be a worthwhile
Then in person, yeah.
Be in person, yeah. To be available to answer questions as they come up, and yeah.
Okay,
We'll
thank
put
you.
that made a note of that, Julian, that we try and schedule that in. I think I think we will have an official letter once everything goes live. Because the change to the regulation officially changes, as Ben said, from this sort of wishy-washy, you should do this, to every person in certain roles, including clergy, employees, and certain volunteers must do the Safe Church training. So, so as part of that, releasing all of that will be I think a header letter that we will put out.
Yeah.
So
Okay, thank you.
thank you for suggesting that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
And comments are welcome if you're.
Yeah, like I said, I went through it quickly, so we have some time.
I have a suggestion.
Sure.
When a person has completed their Safe Church training, can Ben send an email, let's say, to the person who made that request so that I know that the Safe Church training has been done? Because they often don't let me know, the person that did the training.
Okay. Specifically the online training, I assume?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Okay, well,
Yeah, if there's nothing else, you'll be hearing from us a lot more in the coming weeks. It's been difficult knowing that these are coming up. It's hard to want to push something that we know is changing and we'll be seeing a refresh. But anyway, here we're almost there, so you'll be hearing a lot more from us.
Yeah, Ben, Dave Daly again,
I did.
Ben.
Mhm.
Uh, from my understanding of where we are right now, we have our training has been done for say with everyone who is in a position in our uh, pastoral charge here
Mhm.
or in the so the changes essentially are mostly procedural, as I understand it, coming from you. Like everyone has been trained and they're working here in accordance with, first aid person is present at all times and in all meetings, and it carries on from there. But so the new stuff coming out. Is a large portion of it required to be passed on as, to say, a safe church training, or is it essentially for a safety officer knowing uh, his steps, like to follow for dealing with an issue? Would I be right on that?
Yes, I would say it's mostly for like, especially with the misconduct policy, if somebody is
Yes.
looking to make a complaint, the the whole process will be available and documented if they're looking for that at the time. So to be trained on it in advance for most people wouldn't be necessary. But as
Yeah.
Cheryl mentioned, for parish church officers to see the training and know what other people are seeing when they take the training would be beneficial. But yes, you're right.
Yeah, because what I'm looking at is during the summer, things are a little bit tight for getting people all together
Hmm.
in a large group, but certainly with the wardens, with the priest in charge, and myself as the safety officer, when that group essentially are have access to and are familiar with the new the new steps, the new procedures,
Hmm.
we should be safe to carry on for the summer and into the fall. Would that be correct to assume?
Yes.
yeah, as Ben said, if someone is trained, just someone in your parish, then that they have recently trained. There's some years before they have to renew it. So someone new coming into the parish, that takes on a role that is deemed important to have training
Yeah.
would then do it, of course. But yeah, as long as you and clergy and wardens, yeah, are familiar, that's a good first step. Yeah.
Yes, keep us operational. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. I see we have a chat. This is that. Yeah. Chat. Oops. Sorry.
That is right.
It's just not cooperating. There we go.
Paper mouse pads on.
Cindy Lee, thanks so much. We will conduct a group training. Those who cannot attend will do individual. So I think the group training, other than everybody watching the same video together, so that can still happen. Pleased to see the extension of, okay, yes. We're all pleased to see the extension of the criminal record check.
Yeah.
It makes it a little more accessible. And really, the first one is the important one.
Hmm.
And but once we were saying people in a parish know each other. It's and we'll probably find out if something went astray with that person's criminal, suddenly developed a criminal record. That's not probably an unknown for people in the parish. So, or at least the priest anyway. So yeah, but the first one is the important one, especially for someone not known, someone new to the parish, and someone that's so there. We're not doing away with it, but don't need to repeat quite as often. And I guess we're still ahead of like the school system. So.
Yeah.
Ben, I have a quick question. I get on late, so I missed most of everything. There are changes to the Diocesan Safe Church Policy Part 1, and then there's Part B3, I guess, has changed. Are they radically different? Are they just minor changes? I'm just curious on that.
They are, I would consider them minor changes, but they do just fix a couple things that
Sure.
have.
Are they highlighted in the revised version so it's easy to pick up on? I'm just going to read the whole thing anyway. But I was just curious. It doesn't need to be highlighted. It's just a curiosity thing.
I don't think they are, but I can certainly send you the highlights by email. Just pick out the few sentences that are different.
They are not highlighted. The misconduct had a lot of admin changes, I would say. We took out a bunch of definitions and stuff like that are going to be, there's going to be at least 3 more policies. And so that's kind of all spread out. The regulation was really just to change the wording to say thou shalt rather than think about it, not quite,
Okay.
not quite the change, but it was a lot of admin changes. So, like the risk management came out of misconduct, I think, or was that in part 3?
It was part 3.
Part 3, but I think it was referred to in misconduct. Part 3, what you see, risk management, is the part that will be divided up into some more policies, some standards, checklists, and so on. So it won't be one big document. But again, we're just a little ahead of being able to give you a full view of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So does the training remain at 3 years?
No,
I think
it has moved to 5 also.
I was thinking the misconduct still said 3, or the regulation still said 3. But okay.
I checked that.
Just checked. Okay. Yeah, 5 years.
There's so many drafts and things that we've been working on, comments on the side, markups on every form. So sometimes it's hard to keep track of what made it to the final version. But yes, training will be moving to 5 years.
That's not to say it's not parishes are welcome to kind of have a little group session, maybe annually or every 2 years. Especially if we add some things and so on, that might be something we just invite, or we do it in this common setting. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Ben, for leading this commons, and for those who maybe joined for the first time, and for those who returned. We're doing this every first and fourth Tuesday of the month. So that means the next one is next week, I think. Sometimes there's a week in between, and that's going to be Captain Sean Branch, our parish mission and ministry officer, director of mission and ministry.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's going to have Harold Boomer on with him, looking at dinner church up in the Upper River Valley, something they're doing. So more of a missional focus. So please join us again if you can. And again, we record and they're online. So
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Good to see everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your
thanks, Phil.
forbearance.
Have a good day.
You too. Enjoy the sun.